Back in the 90s, I thought I had a happy marriage. My wife and I both worked in the catering industry. I was a chef, and she was a barmaid and waitress. We worked long, unsocial hours, often in different places, but we made it work. Or at least, I thought we did. She had a friend. A woman who was always dripping in money, yet she never worked. She always had a different man on her arm. We used to joke about it, wondering if it was drug money or something shady. We never thought it could be something worse. Then, everything changed. My wife got pregnant. But she miscarried. She was devastated, and she stopped working for a while. Which meant I had to take on extra hours. Moneybag, the bills started piling up. Oncoming taxi, so I took a second job as a taxi driver. Meanwhile, my wife started spending more time with her friend. I'd drop her off at her place, thinking nothing of it. She started wearing more makeup, dressing up when she went out. When I asked, she just said, "You've seen my friend, I just want to fit in." And I believed her. Then came the small things. Little amounts of extra cash. Enough to cover things here and there. I was too busy working 2 jobs to question it, but our sex life? Non-existent. And I could feel it, our relationship was starting to crack. Then, one night, everything fell apart. It was a quiet shift in the taxi when I got a call for a pickup. A wealthy part of town. I arrived, honked the horn, and stayed in the car. 3 people got in the back, 2 well-dressed men and my wife's friend. They didn't notice me. As they talked, I overheard something that made my blood run cold. "Speech balloon, you guys are gonna love her. Moneybag, she's in high demand, so it'll cost extra." I dropped them off at the house. Her house. I still didn't get it, not until I saw her. My wife. Opening the door. Dressed in nothing but lingerie and high heels. She smiled, hugged her friend, and kissed the men. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. Moneybag, one of the men, even tipped me, £20. I drove around the corner and just sat there. Shaking. Trying to process what I just saw. Then, I made a choice. I needed to see it for myself. I walked back to the house. Crept up to the lounge window. And looked inside. And what I saw. It destroyed me. All 4 of them. Naked. One of the men was on top of my wife. And she was putting on a show. Broken heart, she wasn't just doing it, she was enjoying it. When he was done, he handed her over to the other man. And she let him. I couldn't watch anymore. I walked back to my car, called in for the night, and drove home. The next morning, my wife called me to pick her up. I said nothing. Not a single word on the drive home. Until we got inside. She asked me, "Why are you so quiet?" I ignored her. She kept pushing. And finally, I said, "I saw you last night. You didn't see me, but I was the driver who dropped them off." She froze. Then, she collapsed on the floor, crying, begging me to forgive her. But I needed answers. I asked her why. She confessed everything. Speech balloon, her friend, was an escort. Moneybag, she convinced my wife to try it, just once, to help with the bills. Broken heart, but then, she got hooked. She admitted, "Speech balloon, I only meant to do it once, but it made me feel something." Speech balloon, we weren't intimate anymore, and I needed it. Speech balloon, I've been doing it for 6 months. I asked her one last question. If I hadn't caught you, would you have ever told me? She looked at the floor. And whispered, no. Then I asked, are you going to stop now? Her answer. No. It's just sex. I don't love them. That was it. I was done. I threw her bags out the front door. Go live with your whore friend. And I threw her out, too. I never looked back. She went to her friend's house. That's where I sent the divorce papers. And from what I hear, she's still there. Both of them. Still selling themselves for money. Now in their 50s. As for me, I moved on. I'm happily married now. With 2 amazing kids. And grandkids. And the best part? I own my own hotel. Life changed that day. And I never looked back.